Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. Per prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Every day, supporters like you help the American Cancer Society improve the lives of people facing cancer and their families. Your donation helps ensure that everyone has an opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. With your help, the American Cancer Society is working to end cancer as we know it, for everyone. Visit cancer.org to make a life-saving gift today.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/Spotify and use code Spotify for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Spotify and use code Spotify at checkout.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. You can find me on all social media platforms at Beard of Knowledge. And it's Tuesday, November 5th, Election Day, but more importantly, the NFL Trade Deadline Day. More importantly, Dallas Sucks Week. More importantly, the day after the Eagles beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-23. And there's so much to dive into, so much to get to, news, notes, opinions on so many different things. First and foremost, initial reports coming out are that A.J. Brown, his injury sustained that kept him out of the second half of the game on Sunday, does not appear to be serious. We'll have to wait till Wednesday and Thursday's practice reports to really see. But there's a really solid chance from early reports coming out of the NovaCare complex that A.J. Brown, at most, might miss a game against Dallas. This is a really weird part of the schedule. With Dallas on Sunday, then obviously even more important of a game on Thursday night the week after against the Washington Commanders, who are in first place in the NFC East right now. So at this point, that injury, that issue, that question with the knee of A.J. Brown is trending to be a non-serious issue at this point. Obviously, the Eagles were banged up, and Nick Sirianni in his day after presser on Monday did not say or give much information on the injured players other than the typical Nick Sirianni, we will see. So that's the first thing. Also, injury news going next week against Dallas, down in Dallas. Dak Prescott's injury was worse than expected, so the Eagles will not have to face Dak Prescott next week. He is going to miss several weeks at least. So it'll be a Cooper Rush game, most likely, who Cooper Rush is 5-1 as a starter for the Dallas Cowboys over his career, but that's something like that. CeeDee Lamb seems to be trending okay to play. So that's just something to monitor as we go on this week. The Eagles linebackers, Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond, are the highest rated linebackers in the NFL over the last couple weeks. Zach Bond, highest graded linebacker over the last 2 weeks, and the third highest overall rated linebacker all season long in the NFL. It's time for Howie Roseman to get on the source. We see other players getting extensions this time of year. It's time to lock Zach Bond up long-term now. I think Howie Roseman has gotten damn lucky to an extent, but also with that luck comes the responsibility of locking these players up. Zach Bond might not be a rookie or a young player, but he's young at this interior linebacker position, and he's a perfect fit for what Vic Fangio is trying to do. And when you say what Vic Fangio is trying to do, That's why it's so important going into this trade deadline. I don't know if we're going to see Howie Roseman make a really big move, especially on the defense. We see a lot of the guys, that are starting to succeed on the Eagles now through 7, 8, 9 weeks of the season, taking time to learn the Vic Fangio style of defense. And now that they're learning, they're playing at a very high level. So I wouldn't expect the Eagles to go out and target a big name or linebacker, safety, the positions that take a little while to develop in this system. It's really interesting with the trade deadline coming up. The Eagles haven't been mentioned in many rumors of acquiring players, but Tom Pelissero did mention in his latest report Bryce Huff as a name to be, looking at. Maybe that gets traded away from the Eagles. So maybe that's where something happens with the Eagles, that they actually try to recoup, some draft picks by trading away a player or two. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting Tuesday afternoon if the Eagles team looks different or not at this point. But obviously, in this humble podcaster's opinion, more edge rush will be needed. You can't get only 6 snaps out of Bryce Huff. Nolan Smith has been coming on lately, which is great, but they could definitely use some help in the pass rush game. Honestly, personally, I think they could use some help at the defensive tackle position. Jordan Davis, his snap count has been down this year, but Jalen Carter has been playing an enormous amount of snaps percentage-wise this year. And while he is very effective, I don't want to see him get worn down towards the end of the season like last year. So an extra body on the defensive line, interior and exterior, in my opinion, would be much needed and much appreciated, I think, as things go there. Lane Johnson did speak after the game on Sunday and again, yesterday, about how he thought the team lost focus in the second half of the game. And I think not enough is made about the leader, the vocal leader that Lane Johnson has become with the loss of Jason Kelce and the loss of Fletcher Cox over the last year. Lane Johnson was always the leader by example, the workouts, etc. Lane Johnson has become quite the leader, vocally speaking of his team, speaking up to Nick Sirianni about the offense, speaking up in the locker room about staying focused for 4 full quarters. So that's something to keep an eye on and something that, has really interested me. Something I brought up on Twitter a little bit ago. I'm recording this on Monday afternoon. I put it out on Twitter, and a lot of mixed reactions to it. And something I'm going to dive into more as the week goes on. Saquon Barkley touched the ball 31 of 71 plays on Sunday, and his workload's getting higher and higher. And we all want Saquon Barkley to play more and more. The offense runs through him, et cetera, et cetera. And we want him to start early to set the rest of the offense up. But are we concerned with the number of touches that Saquon Barkley is getting? I don't have the answer yet for you on that. And I don't know what the answer is to adjust that. Maybe more Will Shipley, maybe more Kenny Gainwell, or you just ride it till the wheels fall off. We're going to talk about that on tomorrow's show a little bit, but I mentioned Jason Kelce's name, and I wanted to address the Jason Kelce situation that happened up in Penn State over the weekend. Obviously, he's on the Monday Night Football pregame show, and I think Jason Kelce spoke some very powerful words. I'm assuming ESPN asked him to address the situation and issue his form or his style of an apology. And while I agree with what Jason Kelce did, that's my personal opinion. I think fans take things way too far. I think fans take things, they keyboard warriors, and then they go out into the public and they think that nothing will become of it. What Jason Kelce did was justified 1,000% in my opinion. But in addressing it on Monday Night Football, he made such a powerful statement. He greeted, and this is a quote. This is his quote exactly. He greeted hate with hate. And that's not the right way to do things. And I think that's such a powerful statement as we got elections coming up, as just the way the world's been shaped over the last couple of years. Instead of greeting hate with hate, we should greet hate with different ways. So I wanted to address how powerful his words were. And they mean a lot to me hearing that. I get upset sometimes. I don't say things the right way all the time. Jason Kelce said things the right way there in his addressing of the situation on Monday Night Football. I just want to give him a shout out for the way he handled it. But it is Dallas week, guys. It is Dallas sucks week. I should rephrase that. So as I'm talking about greeting hate, not with hate, I am saying Dallas suck week. But that's more just in jest and in fun, guys. This is the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network. If you want the more elongated of this, check me out on Trending in the AM, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. The link to the show is in the description of this video or of this audio every single day. So you just copy and paste it, head on over to YouTube, the STT Sports Network, and listen to the show. Interact with me on that show. Trending in the AM is the only morning show in Philadelphia where your opinions actually matter. So I greatly appreciate you finding me on YouTube, joining in the conversation and the momentum that we're building there as I started my own new personal YouTube channel, guys. I greatly appreciate it. But again, I'm Phil Stiefel. This is the Eagles Checkdown, the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. As always, go Birds, and bubbles up to you.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/Spotify and use code Spotify for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Spotify and use code Spotify at checkout.
This episode is brought to you by Etsy.
Oh.
Hear that?
Okay. Thank you.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Well, not the ones you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight. Happy tears.
How did you?
And spontaneously written songs of joy.
I am so happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, the song needs a bit of work, but anyway, to get those reactions, make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, handpicked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy. Gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all of your favorite people and their specific kind of special. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.